It was recently announced that the Environmental Protection Agency had hired a Republican-controlled PR firm to help with their entire media strategy and come up with better ways to sell their anti-environmental views and decisions to the American public. At a cost of $120,000, which comes from U.S. taxpayers, they've hired a firm run by the man who ran Mitt Romney's 2012 presidential campaign to help them with their media messaging, to help them monitor the press, and more importantly, help them find out which reporters aren't exactly being the friendliest to the EPA. Now, this organization that they have hired, again, run by a former Republican campaign specialist, they do dig up dirt on reporters when necessary to help their clients, better attack these reporters in an attempt to undermine their story. So that's certainly one thing we're very likely to see the Environmental Protection Agency start doing. Is that very becoming of a government agency? Absolutely not. It's downright deceitful, dishonest, and possibly unethical. But what's important here is that the EPA, Scott Pruitt, the climate change denier in charge of the EPA, is so desperate to sell his anti-environmental policies to the American public that they're willing to spend our tax dollars to hire a Republican-controlled PR firm to help them craft it better. So, for example, when they want to do something like repeal the Clean Air Act, they've got to soften that message a little bit to help Americans understand that, yeah, more of you are going to die from air pollution-related diseases like asthma attacks and things like that, but those poor corporations are having to spend so much darn money to comply with this that a couple of deaths here and there, maybe it's your kid, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's you, don't you think that's worth it? There's really no way to soften that message. If the EPA actually wants people to accept the things they're doing, then how about you start doing your job and protecting the environment? Hell, it's right there in the title of your agency. That's your mission, environmental protection. That's what you do. You're not the corporate protection agency. You're not the regulation destroying agency. You are the environmental protection agency. Do your job. That's all we're asking. Protect our air, protect our water, prevent toxic waste from seeping into our backyards or fracking chemicals from coming out of our tap water. Not that big of a deal, not that big of a hurdle. And yet, for some reason, the Trump administration, the EPA, Scott Pruitt, are so heavily in the pockets of the dirty energy industry and the chemical industry and all of the other major polluters out there that they would rather hire a PR firm at our expense to sell us these horrible policies that will inevitably get American citizens killed. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see here on Ring of Fire, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. You can see the little subscribe button down there, but if you're watching it on another device where you can't see it, go to youtube.com/TheRingOfFire, hit subscribe, be notified every time we get a new video.